What's going on? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be reviewing the brand new Magma Tubes Channel Strip plugin made by Waves Audio. So let's hop right in and get to it. All right, so first off, up here at the top of the plugin, we have the drive knob, and this is going to simulate kind of cranking your signal into an analog mixing console or a piece of hardware. Now, this is usually going to add some harmonic distortion and result in a more warm sound. Next to the drive knob, we have a high pass filter so you can remove some of your low frequencies from the audio. You can set this at 60 Hertz or 110 Hertz. Above the high pass filter, we have a phase invert switch so you can flip the phase of your audio channel. Here in the middle of the plugin, we have the EQ section, and this is broken down into 3 separate bands. So we have the high frequency shelf right here at the top. We have the mid-range and we have the bass frequencies. So here in the mid-range, we can actually specify exactly which frequency we want to manipulate with this knob right here. You can set this anywhere between 100 Hertz and 5,000 Hertz. Down here at the bottom of the plugin, we have the dynamic section, and this is where you're gonna find your compressor. And the compressor is just controlled by one single knob. And then down below the compressor, we have a switch that is labeled smash. And when this is engaged, you're just gonna get a more aggressive sounding type of compression. These 5 red lights right here are going to indicate how much gain reduction or compression you're getting on your signal. And then over here to the left of the compressor, we have the expander and gate section. So if you want to turn on the gate, you just activate this switch right here, and this knob now becomes a noise suppressor. And vice versa, if you want to turn this knob into an expander, you can just deselect the gate switch right here, and now this knob is going to add signal instead of removing it. Up here at the top of the plugin, of course, we have the VU meter. This is going to help us keep an eye on our levels as we add more effects and processing. It is worth mentioning that this plugin comes loaded with a ton of different presets to kind of help you get started in the right direction. And that's pretty much the general breakdown of this plugin. Let's go ahead and see how this thing sounds on a dry acoustic guitar with no effects or processing added prior to this plugin. All right, so I think that sounded pretty good right there. I really liked how the filter and the EQ section were working together to kind of clean up the low end muddiness in the guitar. And notice how I really wasn't hitting the compressor that hard. I wasn't getting a lot of gain reduction. The reason for that is because the acoustic guitar is a natural sounding instrument, right? And you want to do your best to maintain the original dynamics. All right, let's go ahead and take a listen to how this thing sounds on the drum bus. All right, so now that we've heard this plugin in action, let's go ahead and talk about if this plugin is for you. If you like to be in that analog mixing console workflow where your EQ, your compressor, your levels, your drive is all within a reachable distance, then this is right up your alley. Something like the SSL channel, which a lot of y'all are probably familiar with, is something that I would compare this to. Obviously, they have two completely different sounds as far as the character that they're adding to the sound, but as far as workflow goes, I think they're very similar. And along those same lines, if you're a beginner and you don't know a lot about EQ or compression or saturation, this plugin is going to be a good starting point for you because it makes things very simplified. If you want more bass, you can just crank the bass knob. If you want more high frequency brightness, you can use the high shelf. It's really easy to dial in compression. It's a really good way to just get your feet wet with mixing. Overall, my favorite part of the plugin is the drive knob. I just really like the weight and body that is added when you crank that signal. And if you dial back on the output gain, it's a good way to match your levels, but actually boost your perceived loudness. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.